Hey guys, so today we're going to learn about the area of composite figures. Composite means multiple shapes. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of talk about what makes up a composite figure. A composite figure is made up of two or more shapes. So if you look, this shape right here, it's kind of an odd shape, but you can split it into a rectangle and a parallelogram. Okay, a parallelogram is a rectangle. I say it's a rectangle that's been hit by a truck. It has been just kind of knocked over a little bit. But if I took a parallelogram and cut it and moved this little piece right here, it would make a rectangle. So we treat a parallelogram just like we treat a rectangle. This shape right here kind of looks like half of a basketball court. And this makes a semicircle and a square. This shape, it looks like a weird triangle has been cut, but it makes a triangle and it makes a trapezoid. A trapezoid has two bases that are parallel and two that are not parallel. We just need to make sure we know what our shapes are before we start this. You need to pause the video and take down notes of these shapes. Now, before you do that, the trapezoid formula, these are all area formulas, okay? And you can tell that because we just learned the circle one, so that one should be pretty in your mind. And this one's the same as a rectangle, like I said about a parallelogram. It's just base times height. Now, triangle, you'll see it area equals half of base times height, or you'll see area equals base times height divided by 2, which is the same thing. Also with the trapezoid, that one's a really long formula. So how I do it is the height of base 1 plus the base 2 all divided by 2, which is the same thing as saying half of the height is half of all of that. So pause it and make sure you get all of those written down. I would write it down just like it is, and then you can press play and continue. So now that you have your area formulas, we need to actually start finding the area of composite shapes. So this looks like an ice cream cone. And on this ice cream cone, we have half of a circle and a triangle. So let's say that this is 20 centimeters and that the height of the triangle is 8 centimeters. Okay, we're going to use our circle area and our triangle area. So I like to draw the shapes that I have. So I have half of a circle and I have a triangle. And then let's actually put the area formulas that we have. So what do we know about a circle? Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. And what do we know about a triangle? We just talked about how the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Because the reason why it's divided by 2 is if you made the same shape again, look, you make a parallelogram. That's why we do the parallelogram base times height, and then we divide it by 2 to get the actual area of our shape. Okay, so let's take this. Now, the circle is 3.14, and then we have to find the radius. Now, this right here is not a radius, that's a diameter. Radius is half of that, so we're going to plug in 10 for our radius. And then we do 10 to the second power, which is 100, times 3.14, which is pi. When you do that, and you do 100 times pi, 3.14, you will get 314. Now, that would be great, except this is not a whole circle. It's only half of a circle. So we tend to take that and divide it by 2 because we do have this semicircle right here. So 314 divided by 2 gives us 157 centimeters squared. Now that is the area of the half circle. So I'm going to put that right here. This is 157 centimeters squared. I now need to find the area of the triangle. The triangle is base times height divided by 2. This is your base. The base is whatever that 90-degree angle makes from the height. So the height is from the very tip top all the way down to the base. So the base is 20, and the height is 8. And we're going to multiply those and then divide by 2, order of operations. So 20 times 8 is 160, and 160 divided by 2 is 80. That's also 80 centimeters squared because that's how many square centimeters would fit inside. So that's the area of the rectangle. So if I wanted to know the area of this shape, I would add the areas together. So the semicircle plus the triangle will equal the area of the composite shape. So that's 157 plus 80, which will give you 237 centimeters squared. Yes, there are a lot of steps, and yes, there are a lot of different shapes that this could be, but you have to pay attention to what shape you need, which is why we did these areas right here first. If you know the area of circles, trapezoids, triangles, parallelograms is going to be the same area formula as squares and rectangles, then you're going to be just fine. Okay? All right, let's do another one. This is a house. So we could do this a few ways, but the easiest way to do this is we have this rectangle right here, and we have a triangle. Okay? This door is inside of the rectangle, so we just need the rectangle and then the triangle. Okay? You could also have cut it down the middle like that and done 2 trapezoids, but I think I want to do a rectangle and a triangle. Okay? So draw this. I'm going to give you your dimensions. So let's say that this is 30 feet and this is 35 feet. And from here down, we're going to say that's 8 feet. Okay? I don't have to give you any other dimensions because from the rules of rectangles, we can figure out everything else. Okay, so what 2 shapes do we have? We have a triangle and we have a rectangle. Okay, what is the area formula of your triangle? It is base times height divided by 2. The area formula of your rectangle is just base times height because rectangles, squares, parallelograms are all the same. So we will plug in our base of our triangle. What is that? There's no number there. Well, what do you know about rectangles? That opposite sides are the same. So this is 30, then this is 30. So that base is 30 times the height of the triangle, which is 8. All of that is going to be divided by 2. So we'll do our order of operations where we have to do the top of the fraction first. That's 240 divided by 2, which is 120 feet squared. So the triangle is 120 feet squared. The rectangle is just base times height, so 30 times 35. So we'll do 30 for the base, 35 for the height. 30 times 35 gives you 1,050 feet squared. So that's what's going to go for the rectangle, is 1,050 feet squared. And remember, to do composite area, we do the triangle here plus the rectangle to equal our area. So we're going to do 120 plus 1,000. Well, we'll do it this way so that we put the bigger number on top. 1,050. Add that together. You will get 1,170 feet squared. That's how many square feet make up the house. Okay. Let's do one more. All right, let's do this one right here. Now this shape, it's kind of an odd shape, which is what most composite shapes are going to be for you, or just really odd shapes. I'm going to split this into a trapezoid and 2 rectangles, so that way we have an example of a trapezoid. Okay, and this trapezoid is kind of turned around. So if I was to draw this up and down, it would look like that. Okay, and a trapezoid has 2 sides that are parallel and then 2 that are not. It's almost like a triangle that the top's been cut off of it. Okay, so we have a trapezoid and we have 2 rectangles. So I want to say that this is 4 feet, and that this side right here is, we'll say 7 feet. And we'll say this one's also 7 feet. And we'll make this one 5 feet. And I think that I can just make this part right here about 6 feet. And we'll go from there. So we have 2 rectangles. Let's do those first. So we have a rectangle, and a rectangle, and a trapezoid. Now if you notice, the rectangle is a 7 by 4 rectangle, so the area is base times height. This one is also going to be a 7 by 4 rectangle. How do I know that's 4? If this side is 4, that makes this side 4. If this side is 4, it makes this side 4. If that side is 4, it makes this side 4. Has nothing changed up here, where you see that right there, okay? So we are going to do base times height, which is 7 times 4, and we will get 28 feet squared. It's going to be the exact same for this rectangle. They were the same. That doesn't always happen, but it happened on this one. 28 feet squared, 28 feet squared. And then we have our trapezoid. And that one is going to be a little different. I want to put it on the other side so we have more room. And hopefully you can still hear me. So we're going to do height times base 1 plus base 2, all divided by 2. The height of this is going to be right here. Okay, that's how tall the trapezoid is. Like I said, it's flipped over. So this is the height, and these are the 2 bases. So the height is 5. Base 1, we said that already said that was 4, plus base 2. Now, this has the 4, and also has this part right here, which is 6. So that base is 4 plus 6, which is 10. So we have base 1 plus base 2. 4 plus 10, all of that divided by 2. This order of operations you really got to pay attention to. So that's 4 plus 10, which is 14. You got to do the parentheses first. Then we have to multiply times 5, 14 and 5, and you'll get 70. And then 70 divided by 2 is 35 feet squared. Once we get that, we will add these together. So we add 28, 35, and 28. 28, 28, and 35, and you will get 91 feet squared. I know that's a lot. I just hope that you stop, pause what you need to, and take notes as needed, okay? And I hope you have a great day. Make sure you take these notes and bring them into class tomorrow.